One of the most common mistakes employers make is getting the minimum wage tip credit wrong, and we're doing extra education to address this common error.
Most of the time, employers are not intentionally paying less than the law. Often, they just misunderstand something, like the tip credit, location, or payroll requirements.
Using data and proactive wage enforcement, we are able to track trends to inform not only our investigations, but also our community's education needs.
When it comes to minimum wage, the best way for business to avoid restitution or penalties is to know the most common errors. One violation we frequently see is the incorrectly applied tip credit. Denver's minimum wage law allows employers in the food and beverage industry to claim a tip credit of up to $3.02 per hour, but only if they can provide documentation showing employees earned at least that amount in actual tips. However, this is what trips many people up. Only business in the food and beverage industry can claim a tip credit. If your business is in a different industry, you may not claim the tip credit, even if your employees sometimes receive tips.
The tip credit is based on state law. Even in the food and beverage industry, it may not apply to all staff if they didn't actually receive tips.
In 2022, the citywide minimum wage was $15.87 per hour. The tipped wage was $12.85 per hour. In that time, we saw an increase in minimum wage violations related to the tip credit. One of our analysts, Abby Kreckman, can talk about some of the cases she and her team investigated.
We recovered restitution in a number of cases related to the tip credit in 2022. Some of the most common industries with violations were baggage handlers, marijuana dispensaries, salons, and valets. Across nearly 30 cases closed or ongoing throughout the year, we calculated almost $290,000 in restitution for 426 employees.
Getting that money to the hundreds of employees who are not paid correctly is essential, but even better is educating employers so workers are paid correctly on the first paycheck.
In 2023, the minimum wage will go up to $17.29 per hour, and the tipped minimum wage will be $14.27 per hour. So here are the tips employers need to remember when claiming the tip credit. You must be in the food and beverage industry. You must have documentation showing the employee received at least $3.02 in tips every hour to claim the full tip credit. And if your employee receives, for example, only $2 in tips in an hour, you may only claim $2 as the tip credit for that period.
We offer a useful tool on our website for both businesses and employees to help keep track of tips. Go to denverwages.org to download our tips tracker spreadsheet.
Other common mistakes we see business make include assuming they are outside the boundaries of the city and county of Denver. Don't forget, the minimum wage applies to the location where the work was performed, not the location of the business offices.
We recommend using our online address finder to confirm whether you should be paying Denver's minimum wage. Don't go by the mailing address. Check for the legal address of where the work is being performed.
Starting in 2022, we were able to proactively go into the community to both educate and investigate in industries or locations with the highest risk of violations. Using data and tracking patterns like common mistakes, we have recovered a record amount of restitution for workers and have proactively worked with business to cooperatively raise wages.
Most of the time, employers are not intentionally shorting their workers. They're just making one of these common mistakes we mentioned. Proactive enforcement and education help us identify problems early and get more businesses on track with the law.
Small business in Denver can find resources and educational material specifically for them on our website. We will walk you through your documentation requirements, list the steps of an investigation, and help you understand what to expect when working with our office. Don't hesitate to reach out to our team of analysts. We are always happy to provide training or one-on-one guidance for you and your team. Well, that's it for this episode of Ask the Auditor. If you have a question, submit it to auditor@denvergov.org, and maybe your question will be the next question we answer on the next episode of Ask the Auditor.